Hello, welcome to another episode of OLTK Overture. My name's Chris Turner, and today I'll be talking to you about all of the exciting printing functionality built into OLTK. To start with, let's get a few things set up. First, I'll navigate to Settings and Printers, and I'll choose the printer I want to use, in my case this Toshiba eStudio. Then we need to choose the papers we're going to use. Out of the box, OLTK has a wide variety of American papers configured, along with many ISO papers. If OLTK does not already have the paper that you want to use, you can add a custom paper by pressing this plus button here. Simply fill out the dimensions in your preferred units and give it a name. In this case, let's do something like that. In our case, we're already set up with using A3 and A4, and crucially we have A3 single-sided, A3 two-sided long edge, A3 booklet and 2-up, and A4 single and two-sided long edge. To that I'm going to add B4 single and two-sided long edge. Next we need to configure our print settings. To start with, I'll do this for the A3 booklet. I'll go to Settings, and this will load up your printer's driver. In our case, we want to print as a booklet, and I want to do this on A3 size paper. If your printer has advanced finishing functionality like folding and stapling, you can set this here in these driver screens. So that's that one. And then for A3 double-sided, we want to go flip on long edge, and we want to go A3. Let's do 2-up next. And etc. So you need to do this for each of these rows in this table. Once done, press Save. Next, let's print some files. I'm going to drag a folder of string parts for Berlioz Symphony Fantastique in here, and that will bring up the printing view. Some interesting things to note. In order to print a file, it needs to be selected. You can select all or unselect specific files. I'll choose all of them. The number of copies, the page size, and the printing type, along with whether to print desk numbers, has been pre-populated. There is some additional setup that we need to make this work. Go to Settings, go to Print Defaults. In the Sections table, you can scroll down to where the strings are, and you'll be able to see that we've set our strings up to print 87654 copies on A3 booklet and with desk numbers enabled. You can change these settings to whatever suits you. When I worked as a music librarian, I typically left these as something similar to A3 booklet, but occasionally a pop show would come in where all of the parts were 2 pages, in which case I would choose 2-up here. I'm going to put these back to booklet and change my score back to two-sided long edge. Now I've got those set up, let's go back to the printing dialog. One very important thing to note is that OLTK can only recall these default print settings if it can work out which section your part belongs to. In order to do this, it's important that the file names match the template set up in the file naming settings. You can choose the pages you wish to print. These are in a standard format of comma-separated numbers or with dashes for page ranges. So for example, I could choose to do 1, 3, 4, 2, 8, 9. And that would print just these pages. You can additionally specify pages to be foldouts. Let's say that we wanted page 5 to be a foldout. What this will do is it will remove page 5 from the main A3 folded booklet and print it as a single-sided A4 sheet. It's important to note that in order for foldouts to work, you need to configure a paper that is half the size of the paper specified here on single-sided. If we were working on a movie recording session, we might wish to print our parts as accordion fold. This is an advanced print type that OLTK offers. The main body of the pages of the part will be printed on A3 2-ups in this case, and if there are any odd pages left at the end, they will be printed on a single-sided page that is half the size of our selected, in this case A4. Great, and then I can just press print. Next, let's take a look at the wind, brass and percussion parts for this piece. We've dragged the folder of files into the work area, and all the settings have pre-populated according to our defaults. One interesting thing to note is that the horn 1 part has 2 copies selected, whereas all the other horn parts have 1. This is due to the bumper horn setting. To enable printing a bumper horn part, go to Settings, Print Defaults, and tick Print Bumper Horn. That's all for this tutorial. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.